D. Dark, Bunny, ByuN, Party. 2021 GSL Season 3 Codex. Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live 2021 GSL Season 3.
It is time for the rematch between Dark and Bunny. Bunny defeating Dark 2-0. Does anybody remember last season? What in the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, to see Bunny play, well, first of all, win, but then second of all, to play as well as he did. Bunny is playing better than I have ever seen him, and I've been casting this guy for nearly my entire StarCraft 2 casting career. Bunny's always been around.
Yeah.
He is looking to be today is the best I have ever seen by far, and he's looking better than all the other Terrans.
I know. He's looking fantastic, and he had a great season last season, a good season before that. And here he is, like, this is a group of death. Can he get out of it?
That's the question. He manhandled Partying in that first game, Partying with two very sharp cheeses. Squeaked by with a win, but again, Bunny so far undefeated against Dark. Bunny did a triple barracks rush, into bunker rush in game 1 and succeeded, and then in game 2, beat him in a long, drawn-out macro game. He's won on both of the two complete polar opposite spectrums of a StarCraft game. Now we reset. If Dark wins this here, he survives despite losing to Bunny before. If Bunny takes it, he is the survivor and goes on to the round of 8.
GSL Season 3 Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming Dark. Team Envy Bunny.
All right, no proxy racks. This game, who do you think is going to win?
I think Bunny should win. I really do.
Isn't that crazy? Dark won last season. What do you think about that, Tasteless? Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Tasteless.
I'm smoking it right now. I'm hitting that that Season 2 gamer pipe right now, and I'll tell you, it feels weird. It feels weird because right now, Bunny, I mean, I'm almost like, I'm inspired by how well he's playing. He's kept his style, but he's improved so much. He seems to have, especially in the late game, even more so than the early game, which is saying a lot. His late game is so spot on. And he seems to have made a lot of adjustments that the other Terrans haven't quite made, like hyper-committing to Widow Mines in certain spots. And not uprooting them and using them in pushes, having a little bit squishier pushes, but basically guaranteeing that he can't be countered on the opposite side of the map.
That was very nice. I like that.
And against both Protoss and Zerg, I should say, he's done that. But yeah, really just playing very, very comfortably. Now, Dark certainly has had time to warm up, and we did see a game that was looks like a loss from Bunny having better intel on his opponent. The bunker rush worked perfectly. The barracks was in the blind spot of the Overlord Scout. So, there is time to adjust and recalibrate. We'll see if he can do that this game, but look, man, I mean, we've been talking about this since Season 1 of this year, that Bunny is looking better and better and better, and it hasn't slowed down.
No, it certainly has not, and he just continues to look better. It's kind of crazy. But the group is so hard that he might have a much worse result this season than last, right?
Yeah, it's very possible.
Like round of 4, amazing. That is insanity to get round of 4. Look at the legends that were with him up there. Trap, Parting, Dark. It's like,
right.
Oh my God. But here, like in this group where 2 of those players are in this group, and then the other one's ByuN, who he hasn't even had to play, there's that possibility that he goes out. And it's, this happens sometimes where
round of 16
you have a player that looks so good and is maybe even a threat to win, but they might not even make it out of the group.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's like you look at the way he's playing, the quality of his play. If he wins this season, no one should be surprised for the quality of the play he's shown. Like maybe he'll have nerves or something that come up, and maybe that's going to be what gets him. But like at the same time, if he doesn't make it out of the group, you shouldn't be surprised either, because partying in dark, like what are you going to do? Two possible champions of the tournament.
As a reminder to everybody who might have been tuning into this show in the second half, this is Group D, but you did not miss Group C. Group C is going to be on Thursday.
Yes.
So just to be clear, we had to move it around, move the schedule around a little bit here. So Group C is still coming. You have not missed out on that.
That's going to be a fun one, too. If Dark doesn't get out tonight, that's our last chance for Zerg players.
That's true, man. It's crazy.
And Rogue's in there, so you expect it to happen.
So the pressure still, you know, from Terran is not too much. Bunny hasn't really done anything out of the ordinary. The Banshee's going to be coming into play here in a little bit. Right now, Bunny's doing a decent job of controlling the creep.
I'd like to see it.
And Dark is keeping him from doing anything more than that, like killing drones.
Decent amount of Hellions back at home right now. Looks like the Reaper getting ready to jump back in. Maybe meet up with these Hellions in a moment.
Good scout.
Oh, I don't think you saw the third CC, though.
Oh, did he actually not see that?
Yeah, I don't think he did see it. But
it was, I think.
I mean, I could be wrong, but it looked like it was
Nidus.
just on the edge. Ah, yeah. Okay, so Queen Ling.
Yeah, he might have seen just with the number of barracks that were there that he can assume the third is coming up. You know what I mean?
It could be, yeah.
Because it definitely looked like, excuse me, that he was looking for exactly that. And he's like, oh, there it is. All right, third CC. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see if he can actually catch him, man.
You know, sometimes when you see the Overlord come in like that, it can telegraph the intentions of the Zerg player.
Sure.
Does a Nidus fit in there? I think it does.
Yeah, he can fit a Nidus where you can't see, according to that barracks. All right, here we go.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that. Wait, does the Overlord?
Oh, now he sees it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think the.
Wait.
It was kind of weird the way that maybe the SCV rotated up.
That could be.
Anyways, it finishes, and here we go. A million queens coming out. Oh my God, just leading the fight here. The SCV is coming up to fight. Another Nidus being made. Transfusion's starting to go down.
Yeah, the Queen's doing an excellent job of tanking as more Lings spill out. A second Nidus comes, and Lings come out for the flank. 22 SCVs have been killed.
But he's going to push it back. Kills off both the Niduses.
Is there any way for Terran to seesaw back over to the Zerg side of the map, I wonder?
Well, not right this second, but, like, you know, you've skipped a lot of drones to do this. You've skipped a lot of tech to do this.
Is he trying to hit this from the high ground?
Yeah. I don't think he's actually going to use that, though.
The thing is, Zerg can basically just make these and not use them, and the threat of a counter is so strong that the Terran has to respect it. So he's going to have a drop coming. 16 Marine harass moving out. Is he going to be able to move with the rest of his army here? He needs to kill that creep tumor.
He really does need to kill that creep tumor. That is a fact.
Things might be moving so fast. It's one of those things that just gets lost in the APM.
Oh, kind of a cute little defense there of the SCVs. Now here come those medevacs. Let's see what he can get done with them. He's actually very close to 1-1 in combat shields. You know what? He's going to cancel that hatch. 100%. Okay, down it goes. The Overlord, couple creep tumors. Not bad, not bad. Controlling this part of the map.
Yeah, pretty big punish there on a Dark. And honestly, he's going to get out without even trading anything off. That's pretty good. That's the kind of play you want to see. I don't know what the counterplay is going to be here for Dark, you know? He killed a lot of workers, yes, but he didn't really grow behind this. And you do have to sacrifice quite a lot to get an attack like that last one we saw off. So, you know, both players are not exactly totally comfortable right now.
Well, right now he's making 3 hatches. So 2 of those are macro hatches, which tell us basically everything we need to know. This is going to be pure Ling Bane for quite some time, probably into Ultra, which is one of Dark's strongest styles overall. So with Burrow on the way, that's going to be another way that he can kind of gain some value back into this game. He's spreading his creep as quickly as he can, trying to expand in both directions. But this has to be, for the most part, a very defensive game from Dark, which will involve some counterattacking.
Here comes the push, though.
Okay.
Bunny, once again, is pocketed the tanks. And the iconic Bunny play.
I love these few Hellbats in here, by the way. That's going to help out so much against this composition.
And he's going to try to hit this spot here in the top left. If he can hit here, he can even push into the 12 o'clock spot.
Yeah,
there is the risk of counterattack, though, but this is going to be a tough decision for Dark to make. He insta-cancels the hatchery. Now, does Bunny keep going? Bunny, he also has to protect his Nat. There's an opening there.
And here's that counterattack now.
Okay.
And he's actually just going to go for it with his attack.
This game is going to be one that's eye for an eye here. He's going to lose that base down there, but there's way too much over here for Bunny. The Zerg is going to try to fight back. Two tanks very well positioned. The Banes come up, but they connect to the Hellbats.
Yeah, he's got plenty of Marines back, guarding those siege tanks as well. Brings back the units that he lifted up on the frontal push also. The Baneling's coming in. He's just got to stop those from hitting his Marines, and he should be good here.
And I think that there is just enough here for Terran. These Banes undefended.
Wow, such a nice push coming out of Bunny right now. Relands at third base.
Lost opportunity. He's not watching.
Yeah,
the multitasking is too much.
These Marines getting so red at this point.
These medevacs depleted. They can't really heal up. He's going to have to wait for reinforcements, and here they come now. I think Bunny may have done it.
It does look that way right now. He's pushing up. Dark was so low on army supply. He needs to get some Baneling hits. A few of them are hatching.
He's just not watching, and I don't know that he's going to have enough now as the Queens are getting so red. Really the last line of defense. GG, Bunny wins game 1. That makes him 3-0 against the GSL Season 2 champion, Artosis.
That is pretty crazy. I saw Dark kind of looking like he was in shock there from losing that game. He got the Nidus off. He got a ton of Queens out. He got a second Nidus. Didn't do enough. He killed actually a decent chunk of SCVs, but great counterplay there from Bunny. At Dark, he tried to go into a very Ling Bane heavy composition, could not quite hold. I think he counterattacked with a little bit too much. I think that was his big mistake after failing the Nidus, right?
I got to point this out, man. All 3 of the games these guys have played have been completely different, and Bunny has taken every single one. Bunny really just does what he wants in TVZ and manages to take down Dark. Now, Dark could still do this. He could still come out on top, but again, Bunny looking like the best Terran ever. Let's see if Dark has another better plan here on 2,000 Atmospheres. Otherwise, the Season 2 champ is out in the round of 16.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark. Team Envy, Bunny.
Bunny just looking so unbelievably strong right now.
He's looking focused, man. I mean, there were a lot of very unique moments back there. Like, he had that push coming. In the last game we just casted. He had a naked third base, right? Which usually is bad because if the Lings and Banes get over there, they're going to wipe out your SCVs, right? It's an easy trade. Has 2 medevacs to scoop up the SCVs and pull them back.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a beautiful move, yeah.
Yeah, and then
really limited his losses.
Yeah, and then just had enough to wall in his natural and hold that. And I mean, there were really tough decisions on both sides, but Bunny is just blowing me away with how he handles this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Even his losses against Parting was like, damn, he's playing well.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for his future. Like, it's funny because like it's been very exciting seeing Zaun come up. Percival, everyone is kind of hype about, and he's a super aggressive Terran, which is fun. But really, right now, Bunny is the one guy that's getting up to championship quality. Yeah, well, you know, with Percival and Zaun, it's kind of a different, cool narrative of like, yeah, new people are coming.
That's right. It's not going to be the same small number of people. But then when you get Bunny, it's like, yeah, if you've been playing the whole time, maybe this is the moment that you hit your stride.
Well,
you know?
I honestly thought he would never hit it. Like, he was always a decent pro.
Dude, I thought the same thing.
But I really never thought he was going to hit it because he was actually having worse results a couple years ago than he was a couple years before that. Where, like, there was a year where didn't he make it into Codex only one time, like 2 years ago? It was something like that, where
it was just, either 2 years or 3 years or 4 years ago, I think.
Well, it happened, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, damn, man, you've been in here a long time, and it's just like
Right.
you've been the 9th best Terran in Korea for too long
And
now.
I don't want to name other players, but I've had the same thought about them in GSL. I'm like, okay, I'm used to seeing you be here, but you haven't had a breakout performance. You haven't really done it. And when we saw Bunny improve, I thought, well, isn't that cool, man? Maybe we can keep it going. But, you know, it's so hard when a game is this competitive, and then he's doing it. And, I mean, what an insane growth spurt. It's Season 2. He's doing this against the champion.
Yeah.
And not just that, but then against Parting, like, he looked really good.
Yeah, his late game TVP. Like, we'll see what Maru looks like and what Dream looks like in their upcoming matches. I just wonder if they're going to look as good as Bunny looked against Parting.
Parting was being so active on the map, and it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He had basically preempted it so perfectly. And that's what's insane about Bunny here. And, you know, even today, I wasn't really sure he was going to have a breakout performance, especially when you have, like, a lineup of Dark, Parting, and ByuN. You're like, well, I don't know, man. Those guys have really been on top of the entire world, literally, in StarCraft.
All three world champions.
Yeah, at points in time, right? But, you know, right now, again, I feel like he's looking the strongest, despite Party beating him, you know, with 2 of the games with some crazy aggression and cheese. So, yeah, it's exciting.
Nice scout there. Sees that 3rd CC, but it's a Cloak Banshee and Reactor Hellions on the way, so really nothing is going to kill Bunny at this point. Double Evo coming up for Dark. Does have that 3 base. I'm interested to see which tech route he's going to choose this game, because he's playing probably the most standard opener that he's shown us so far. Because he's a very off-brand Zerg. He likes his roaches. He likes aggressive plays, but it looks pretty normal what we're looking at. There's melee. Let's see, obviously Carapace will start. But after that, are we just going to go into Massling Bane? Are we going to add the Hydralisk Den, or are we going to add the Spire? Because it's got to be one of those. A little mistake here from... Oh, there we go. There's the Carapace. It's like, that is definitely not the one you want to miss.
So, a very ordinary game here from Dark. The same can be said for Bunny. Bunny just kind of scouting and getting that Banshee out to put some pressure on, using those Hellions and taking a 3rd base. We're going to see when the buildup actually comes. But nobody really taking a risk, which is different from some of the games we've had with these 2 before. You know, we had the Proxy Barracks with Bunny earlier. We had the Roach Ravager attack early on. You know, from Dark, but this time around, this is very, very much your bread and butter TVZ.
And look at this, powering down this hatchery as quickly as he possibly can with those Banshees and Hellions. Kind of interesting, because he did a scan and then didn't clear any of the tumors, instead just going for the hatchery, and he's going to force a cancel on it.
Yeah, this is apparently going to work, which is actually a pretty big hiccup in the whole sequencing that Zerg is trying to do to develop economically. 3rd base and 4th base are usually the most painful. Obviously the 2nd if you could stop it, but usually the 2nd base you can't be stopped in most scenarios and most matchups.
Yeah, and by the
way,
Whoa,
big catch.
Yeah.
Big catch. That was pretty much all that Terran had as far as ground goes, as infantry were just now being macroed out. So that's a big loss.
Yeah, that's pretty painful, especially considering he just figured out what Dark is doing. His Banshee's flew in the main base and you saw the macro hatchery. You're only going to see that at this point in the game against Massling Bane. So definitely Dark has chosen his strat, and now we get to see Bunny try to play against this when Dark hasn't already set himself behind.
Yeah.
Nice pick off on a couple tanks. That was good.
I think the tanks are the best targets at a moment like that. Just get those numbers lower so you can try to poke it later on. And, you know, because those Hellions were lost, the double expand is going to come into play right away. Of course, Terrian has plans to counter this with a 4th command center of his own, but again, tempo-wise, Dark in very good shape. I would love to see Game 2 in the second best of 3 between these two. I'd love to see that go to a macro game once more.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to.
Yeah. All signs seem to point to that.
Yeah, yeah. Like, ByuN will probably go into mass mines at this point, I think. He's going for a very macro-oriented build, and I think that this is, like, the correct way to play it as well. Whereas Dark, you see him throwing down the infestation pit, so that's his tech going towards ultras. And yeah, it really doesn't feel to me like either of them have any opportunities to kill the other anytime soon. Like, ByuN would have to do a full attack, which would then fail, and then Dark counters with Mass Bane, and that would be, like, the quickest the game could go. Other than that, I think it's going to go into Ultra. It's going to go into, like, both of them having about half the map.
And I think there's also really no incentive for anybody to try to attack here. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, everyone's kind of set up a little bit too well to do it.
Yeah.
Banshee.
And this is going to be the real test for Dark. I mean, you know, just, if he loses here, it does really show how quickly time can change.
Every second.
And it's funny to see the difference between ByuN and ByuN. You know, ByuN looked good, but like a lot of his ideas didn't work. He was fast and you know, attacked in certain spots, but sometimes the locations he hit didn't make sense. Like 8 Marines and 2 tanks in siege mode in the Zerg's main. You know, where everything that ByuN does seems clean. It seems to just add up. We do have a Nidus network coming here, by the way.
What is that Nidus for?
I would imagine there's going to be something like a Nidus in the main, and then he wants to try to hit the 3rd or something.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, Dark, and we've seen Rogue do this as well. It's like you can use Niduses just to cause a distraction.
Yeah, sure. And, I mean, he has a lot of links. He can throw some away, like, drawing his attention elsewhere. But right there, we saw a good amount of SCVs cleaned up, a good amount of Marines cleaned up as well, but ByuN gets the counter damage there with that hatch. It's a little bit scary. Ling Bane is the opposite of Roach when you look at the supplies. If the supply for army is near yours, it's like, well, Ling Bane is basically so supply efficient for its fighting at half a supply a unit, right? So that's the army right now of Dark is fearsome, but it's like a one use.
So this little attack coming down here. Dark kind of hemorrhaging some units here and there. Kind of insane play here from ByuN to kind of carve through those 2 hatches on the right side with such ease. Now going to go with a big drop up here into the main, because why not? And look at this, the way these Lings are coming in here. Gets a lot of damage off before he needs to pick up, and he can now hit this location up here near 12 o'clock. He's just drawing the Lings into different areas. Now I think there's enough that there's no way for him to actually take the hatchery, but already in the center right, here it is again.
I love these parasitic bombs going down on those medevacs as well. It's going to stop some of this harassment at least. Excellent mines coming out. Marauders just kind of tanking for that army. Not a lot left over on that battlefield though for ByuN.
And pretty big attack in over here again. I mean, you can see what he's doing though. And you know who this looks like right now? It looks like Mario.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it does.
He's almost taken out that hatch there at 3. Not far from 12. There's still pressure there. But Dark has held on so far. That's important to note.
Yeah. And as long as he holds on and gets up to the tech that he wants.
Yeah, gets drones mining there. He's fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think he made the Ultros cabin yet, did he?
I believe that's correct.
I would like to see that from him. Another drop comes down, has that Liberator set up as well, but the Queens pick those off before they end up dying. A huge counterattack here. The Marauders tanking pretty darn well. Some Marines shoot everything down.
Okay, the hatchery is actually, is this going to go down?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
he could micro it just right. Boom, it's taken out.
They're going to boost towards that main base with those 3 remaining Marauders.
Yeah, just get whatever you can take up here.
Oh, he's actually going to go into Lurker Den instead of Ultra. It's not what I was expecting, but okay.
Well,
see how that works out.
Yeah, the Lings are going to come in over here. Perfect fanning from Bunny so far. Just really buying time. Picks up the last second. Oh, that's so funny. These are only just now stemmed and moved.
Yeah, they get cleaned up pretty quickly there. Lots of Hydras being added in. Definitely wants to get those Lurkers out ASAP. I think he's feeling a little bit overwhelmed trying to defend everywhere with Ling Bane right now, despite a great creep spread. Well, I guess not in front of that base, though.
Okay, the push coming up here. I do think Terran might not quite have enough. It seems like the Baneling count is pretty high, which can kind of just flush out any options for Terran have. But take a look at these Widow Mines coming up now. 3-3 about to finish.
Let's see how these mine hits connect, and not that well, honestly. I think that Dark busts through there very, very efficiently, considering.
Yeah, chasing him away. Terran continues to grow out here with a planetary at 9 o'clock.
Backing up here once again. Finally, the first Lurkers are morphing. Some Liberators starting to be made here from Bunny.
And the Lurkers are going to make it a lot less of a back and forth over here for the Terran, unless the Lurkers are outnumbered.
Yeah, and I think they are a little bit right now. Look at this. Gets up on top of some of the morphing eggs. Gets rid of one of them.
Yeah, nice control so far here. These Widow Mines really cleaning up.
The parasitic bombs just murdering these medevacs. They're taking so much damage there. I think this is starting to go pretty Dark favored in this battle that we're kind of watching. If he just holds on here. Okay, Bunny is switching locations. I like that a lot because those Lurkers are about to hatch. Link so responds so quickly. Ghost Academy just now coming up.
Yeah, Bunny with the spread, it's pretty nice. It's going to get more taxing for both Bunny and Dark as the game goes on, as they're going to have to be reached into the far corners of the map here. And again, the presence of Banelings on the ground here, you just can't be on the ground right now as Bunny. Dark now maxing out. Is he going to spring an attack over here at 6 o'clock? Meanwhile, up here, I don't see very much at all here from Dark to contest this.
He does have a few Lurkers.
I just saw him at the tip of the screen there at the top.
Yeah, a couple over on the other side as well. The mines help him to really clean up those queens. Seems like just enough Lurkers that Bunny doesn't want to attack in. Uh-oh. Quite the surround.
Yeah, a bit of a Zerk jump scare there for the Terran. You know, Dark's basically held on to these spots. And now it's going to be up to the Terran down here at the bottom to try to defend these attacks. Is there actually enough Lurkers and Lings and Banes to come in here?
Well, this is super hard because he doesn't have anything like siege tanks to absorb mass Lurker attacks, right? So he's kind of just trying to multitask beyond this comp. He is adding the ghosts in, which definitely can help with their snipes and everything. But honestly, I'm looking at this spot, and it really looks to me like a Dark victory.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it seems like Dark has barely managed to hang on long enough. Now hold on, he's going to take out these Lurkers. This is going to be a big cancel on all these Banes. Meanwhile, a huge Ling attack over here at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it looks like the Lings should be able to take out that planetary as well. Down it goes.
And suddenly Bunny's position on the map has shrunk. His army size is still fearsome, but it does seem like, you know, with deep pockets, Dark can just continue to buy his way out of the situation.
Definitely still has some really great income here. I mean, both their supplies definitely are falling down quite a bit. He's utilized, like, all these Ling Bane attacks, they are not coming home. But Dark still has a big enough income to be able to throw these out here. Whereas Bunny is starting to dry up. He is making a couple command centers. So hopefully he can secure some more bases. Ooh, I like that. It's almost like you've forgotten about the Nidus at this point.
It's kind of hiding in plain sight, yeah. I mean, especially with how much is going on in a game this late.
Yeah.
Now, is he going to actually commit and send anything out? I think he's assuming that there's an army running back here for this. There's
No,
not.
just 2 SCVs are going to kill it. Okay.
Yeah. But the, oh, hold on. We don't see it on camera, but at the top left, here we go. He gets the hatch.
Oh, that's a
Whoa.
good kill.
Big pick off there. And the Nidus is eliminated. So there's nothing that can happen in the main. This base is going to be, he's going to have to lift off. But at the same time, there's no minerals there. It's basically a dud expo.
Yeah, not that important. This one, very, very important. And that's the side that Dark doesn't have a lot of creep on. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bunny is able to keep that side going and maybe continue to attack that top leftish base.
If there was
but this base over here, I don't think Bunny has any way to push it. Just none.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I don't feel like there's any way to really get in there.
I think he has to sweep from left to right. Like, kill this morphing base and then kill the base next to it, push this creep back, and then maybe you can put enough pressure on that you can gain control of this game.
I feel like it's just keep your focus in the top left quadrant. You're going to be able to cover your expansion and still push into that location that he wants to have.
All right, Link Bane Lurker coming up. Lots of mines here. There goes. Unable to really hit any of their snipe shots here.
Yeah, but there's still enough that the Terran has room to work with. I feel like we somehow missed this, but yeah, that planetary in the bottom right is just really good. Dark, this is going to be a tricky next couple minutes here. It's kind of funny, just head-to-head who wins the lurker or planetary. Well, it's funny because this will happen where there's so many things happening in a game that if you're not really on top of everything, you just miss this.
Totally.
So the lurker's going to be cleaned up. Really, this is the weak spot over here. There's lurkers defending, but there's not a lot of creep. You know, the planetary is enough of a headache for the Zerg to get that as an attack happens over there, there's a chance it causes an imbalance in the top left, and Terran hits there too.
A lot of lurkers still being made. Liberators joining the army. Yeah, I mean, there's not actually any Vipers now that we look at it. Oh, that's okay. Oh, he snipes 3 Overlords and then they fly away. But yeah, with no Vipers out, the Liberators actually could turn into a pretty decent unit here, right? Like, easily push back some of these lurkers. And, like, the thing is, you can always make some... Oh, look at this massive burrow here.
But is there anything actually defending up here? That seems like it's all the lurkers in the game.
It's a lot of lurkers. It's a big percentage of what he's got, for sure.
A nuke's fired. I think this is targeted towards this base. Yeah, this one up here. That's going to force the lurkers back, which could allow infantry to maybe snipe at the right angle.
Coming in now. Ooh, beautiful. Flanking right now. Well, I don't know what that nuke really did.
Yeah.
He sniped 3 of those 4 Overlords, then he nuked them.
Now, hold on a second. He killed up that hatchery in the top left, but that's also mined out. So we may not see that retaken.
Okay.
So I think that each player is working with one base of real equity, because that's going to mine out the one that we see in the bottom left there.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
So it's like...
Pretty much.
It seems like it's more complicated than it actually is in a lot of ways. Like, this base, not really any value.
Yeah, very little comparatively.
Zerg did take this. I don't know how long that can be held on to.
Well, that's probably the next base you're going to have to push, pretty clearly.
I think so. How many lurkers are actually here?
Ooh.
Well,
enough that he's got to get out of here.
Okay, so he's going to unload. Going to try to come in again.
That was actually sick with the Lings drawing the mine fire underneath the medevacs.
Yeah, that was really nice. We need some scans. It does miss that lurker.
Oh, no. That lurker has gotten so much damage done so far.
Side lurkers.
The
side lurker.
It's been sitting there forever.
Again, no planetary here, so you need actual infantry to defend. He pulls the SCVs out. Terran needs to reclaim this, like, pronto.
Some Hydras coming in now. Doing what he can against them as they try to power down his Liberator.
Oh my god. I think you might be right, Artosis. I think Dark barely has this.
Yeah, it feels that way, but Bunny still has a chance. Like, he's...
Well,
these 2 bases mining much longer and he's going to be done.
Yeah, no, I think he just has too much. There's 63 drones, 32 SCVs. I think ByuN gave a little bit too much thought to the top left, and when he finally killed it, it mined out.
Yeah.
It's what I thought he should do too, but then when you look at it, it's like, well, this isn't of any value.
He stayed on such a bio-mine heavy army composition to fight the Massling Bane, which I don't fault him for. I think it's better against that than anything else. But when the Lurker switch came, which was like, he was on the ropes until the Lurkers were out.
Yeah,
he was. Dark was on the ropes, so it was like, it was a risky thing, and he got the switch off. And since then, it's been really tough because like he's adding ghosts, and we've seen like a few liberators quite a bit later. But it's so hard to fight against lurkers like that. Like his army just doesn't beat lurkers.
Yeah, if the lurkers are in position, you kind of can't fight them. And so we see him pushing up here, but again, I don't know what there is to fight for up here. A Baneling's nest, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, I think you're trying to get anything you can.
All right, the satisfaction of a nuke killing a building.
Another Ling attack over to this mining base. They'll get over here and clean up pretty quick. Ooh. Mine hit doing more damage than the Lings. Oh, I love the burrows too. Like, I mean, that's just less mules that you're going to use.
It's how you're going to drag the Terran down. So this game, I think now is over. It's done. Yeah. I think ByuN, on so much adrenaline right now, is still trying to find a way, but Dark is pretty gracefully grown into the bottom right.
Yeah, yeah.
Is getting just such an insane economy.
I think the thing is he knows Dark doesn't have a very big army right now, and ByuN's army is like decent still, so he hasn't left, but I mean, with those 3 bases on the right taken, there's no chance.
No, there's no way this is going to work out.
He'd need to kill all of them like right now, and that just can't happen. All right, unloads in a hidden spot to kill that bottom right, so he should be able to get this one.
Yeah. Very nicely done. He'll clean this out. How quickly can the Zerg put out this fire?
Coming in with units from another direction, too, kind of catching those reinforcements.
Yeah, you know, you kind of abuse the fact the lurkers are not that...
oh, boy.
Oh, hold on. Okay, good save.
Yeah, loses a little bit. You know, this can be kind of the problem. We talk about games that look like this a lot in Terran versus Protoss, where the Terran is on just bio, and it's like, well, eventually you have to fight the army, and the Colossus and Disruptors and Storm will kill you. In this case, it's just replace that with lurkers, right? It's like, he just can't win a straight-up fight against these lurkers. There's just too many. His army just doesn't fight well against this. And look, he's coming up. He's trying to go for the kill. In the meantime, like, another base might get knocked out.
Yeah, he's just going to keep roaming here and wiping out these games. I mean, this game is basically done. There's just a small force that's wiping out hatcheries, really showing what a kind of a fighter ByuN is. But ultimately, there is no answer for this many lurkers. Spider Gamer 4000. This
Spider Gamer 4000 against ByuN King Prime over here.
That's right, ByuN King Prime for real, dude.
It's got 1 SCV.
Marine ByuN King. So let's see if the supply gets even lower than 49. What do you say?
Well, it's definitely going to get lower. He's not going to make more units, Tasteless. He has 40 minerals.
He will not Artosis.
Oh!
Okay, 1-1. Dark could still do this. It's a bit anticlimactic at the end there when it kind of...
Well, he was dead for a few minutes. All right, looks like ByuN's going to take a little breather. I think it's a good choice. That was a tough game. And he actually did have Dark on the ropes there as Dark was doing the transition into the lurkers. Like, he was almost breaking him, and then there were just enough lurkers several times in a row. And he never really transitioned much into anything else. Like, a lot of people like to go pretty heavy tanks to absorb lurker attacks, to eventually push them down, utilize your ghosts in tandem with that. He did go for the ghosts, but that's about it.
He was stuck in a very specific tech. You're right.
Yeah.
And
he wasn't getting the snipes off, and he only had like one Ghost Academy, so like he couldn't even really nuke push.
It was kind of a weird ending, but it was also one where Dark got the upper hand pretty early on, and I think played an extremely patient game. Really let the clock run. Dark's been so good at this before, basically just defending enough, and I think a lot of that did come down to Bunny committing to the upper left. I was even saying that's what he should do, but then when he finally killed that base, there was no minerals there.
Yeah.
So it's like, by then, that base doesn't even matter other than having creep extend through that to the base further to the upper left. So, you saw that base fall at the moment when it mattered the least, or really didn't matter at all. I guess it would have been better for Bunny to try to control the bottom right quadrant more, but easier said than done. There was a lot of creep there.
Yeah, there was so much creep. It was an impossible mission for him, right?
Yeah, he's just not going to get in.
Basically, when Dark stabilized with the lurkers, it was all but over at that point. Bunny put up a good fight. Like, honestly, like we keep talking about, like, maybe he should have transitioned out of those units. The game might have gone even worse, right? Because, like, when you go from, I haven't been making siege tanks all game, to, okay, let's start making siege tanks, it takes like 5 minutes to get enough siege tanks to do anything. And at that time, Dark is going to explode.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind, that was a very, very straightforward TVZ as far as how both sides opened up. It got very hectic at the end. It got very interesting at the end. But a lot of it was your Terrans got the third command center. They're building that up. Zerg's taking the fourth base, eventually a fifth base. And we're seeing both sides power up. The game doesn't have to go like that. And in more than half the games we've had with these two guys tonight, it hasn't. So I'm wondering, is Dark going to do some kind of a rush, something aggro? Is Bunny going to do something crazy?
Well, our next map is going to be Romanticide, and it's the kind of the map that's good for turtling and getting into a longer game.
Yeah.
So I'm not so sure, but I mean, whatever they have to pull up their absolute best strategy, whatever they think is actually going to win, because this is, I mean, out of all the games that are played tonight, this is the one that matters. The winner of this game goes on.
All right, guys, the final game, Dark vs. Bunny. Let's find out who survives to the round of 8.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark. Team NV, Bunny.
Okay, kind of a crazy moment for the season. Honestly, for me, today is one of the big highlights of all of Season 3 is the insanity of Bunny, how well he's playing. Dark barely won that in the end. Well, not at the very end, but, there was a few minutes where he was won, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, it was a real back and forth, and that's the first game Dark's won tonight, guys. This is the second series between these two, a rematch, if you will. Yeah. Bunny beating Dark to start today off with 2-0, two very different games. Triple proxy racks into Bunker Rush, easy peasy win. Game 2, insane, epic, late game ZVT. That ultimately Bunny came out on top of, looking in some ways even better than Maro and TY have done sometimes. And then, in game 1 here, Bunny pulled through, but Dark barely survives, as we saw in that last game. This is crazy to me.
Well, whatever happens here, it's like the loser here is the 9th man, right? Like the loser here is the guy that most deserves to be in the round of 8 that's not.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Either literally the defending champion or one of the top 2 Terran players. Like, you cannot tell me Bunny is not better than all Terrans but Maru right now. He is just
It's self-evident in the games.
It is we hold this truth self-evident.
That's right.
Tasteless Edison once said that.
Mm-hmm. Tasteless. Oh, hold on.
George Tasteless once said that, Tasteless. He will not tell a lie. He said that as well.
That's right. When I cut down that tree.
Yeah.
Isn't that the way the tale goes?
That is exactly
He like cut down a tree and like, did you do that? He's like, I can't lie. I'm like, this is the worst story I've ever heard in my whole life.
Like, you can't lie? Whoa, I'm going to get ahead of you, no doubt.
Why did he cut the tree down?
Oh, I don't know. For firewood, probably?
Yeah.
Why else would you cut a tree down? He couldn't see.
Because he hates nature.
It blocked his view. Like, its branches were going to take down his internet cord. I don't know, something like that.
In this game, again, we've got similar openings to the last game. I mean, there hasn't been that much that's happened, but this doesn't seem to be any kind of rush. Nobody trying to attack in and surprise anybody early on.
Yeah, and honestly, like, 3rd CC, Banshee is really a good choice against Dark, because it kind of treads that line where you are building your economy, but also the Banshee is going to help out so much against a lot of Dark strategies, whether that's going to be a quick Nidus, whether that's going to be a Roach push. So yeah, I think definitely very worthwhile. He did pop a Viking out first. Well, it's about to come out. Oh, and he's actually, never mind, it's not Banshee, I'm sorry. It's actually, he used the Tech Lab to get Stim.
So it is a little bit different.
Yeah, it is a bit different. But I like that too. Like, I feel like we don't see this enough. Like the Viking to just push all the Overlords out immediately.
Yeah.
Remember, we used to call that like a Polt Viking or something because he was like the first one that
Select,
started.
actually.
I don't think so.
Was it Polt that was doing it first?
I think it was Polt was the guy that was really on top of that move. Select was the guy who made 3 bunkers in front of your hatchery every game.
That's right.
He's like, oh, all the ramps are this size.
Now, obviously, there's going to have different results here without the Banshee being out. You know, we saw the Banshee chase away Roaches early on. The Roaches are going to be a little bit more of a threat here. But I think Terran's got enough to basically deal with this.
He's making the bunker. It's not that many Roaches.
Yeah. Forces a cancel. I mean, Hellions have a hard time ever fighting Roaches head on.
There's some more coming. Making a lot of bunkers. I guess he should have made that Banshee I was talking about today. So listen, I'm like, yeah, you should always go Banshee against Dark. That's really smart. It's like he's not. He's making a Viking. He misplaced the hatch.
Yeah, I almost didn't know what happened. You're right. It was 1 hex up. Thought maybe for a second something sniped that, but there's no red on the mini-map. That's a little bit annoying. Not the end of the world, though. Double Evo chamber comes down.
Yeah, 1-1, though, is like halfway done here for Bunny.
Yeah,
so
Bunny's going to have a very strong push. This could be a kind of classic TDZ engage here over the 4th base. Tanks sieged up in the right spot, and Marines and everything else fanning out to try to reduce damage. But Dark's pretty crappy in those kind of situations.
Yeah. Well, Dark right now, he's getting 1-1 for Roach, and Hydra and Lurker, of course. He is teching up towards those Lurkers. So it looks like it's going to be, well, I mean, that's kind of how Dark normally likes to play. We do see him do the Ling Bane sometimes, but he really does like Roach Ravager as well.
All right, the Hellions coming up, and some of these drones are pretty exposed. 4 go down, and somehow none of them die. The Hellions, that is.
Yeah, just gets them out of there. Hive on the way, a couple Infestors as well, so very standard Dark right here. 1-1 about to finish for Bunny. Did he add it? I don't think he added his 2nd factory yet, right?
I don't believe
so. I feel like
so.
normally he adds it right around now against this type of play.
With the upgrades done, it is a desirable time for Terran to try to push out and maybe pick a fight. Creep spread's pretty good. You can see Terran coming up here through the top. I think there's enough roaches you can't really do anything over here.
You might be able to fly around a little bit and look for an area. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to shoot in behind a natural, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot to try to come in.
Finds that lone Marine.
Drop coming in now. Gonna hit the natural, looks like. Oh, could go for the main actually as well.
Just gonna kind of carpet bomb them out.
Yeah. And he can pull back here. He's gonna take out the Roach Warren. Again, not a particularly significant building. It can be remade pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But you take what you can get in these moments. Now here comes the push. And
Okay, well, that's a good amount of siege tanks right now.
it is. And the siege tank spread is quite nice as well. The infantry are actually being dropped into the main, though. Is this attack a little bit too off balance?
It looks
seems
like he's
you're not
trying
gonna
to hit
succeed
the fort.
anywhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the split is good enough from Dark, and he's slowing him down enough. But he's trying to keep those medevacs as a nuisance. There are a couple Vipers. The Infestors should have fungals by now easily. Yeah, he's got to back up. If he loses these tanks, that would be like a huge throw, these 4 siege tanks.
Well, I mean, he will lose these tanks if nothing comes up here. Oh man, I'm starting to think the Dark's going to take the Sartosis.
Yeah, this I think was some bad decision making from Bunny, which we haven't seen that much of tonight. But it's pretty clear you can't leave 4 tanks sitting there that long.
Yeah. Those
maybe the pressure getting to
had
them
a
a little
bullseye
bit.
on their back.
They had a bullseye on their front.
Well, I think actually the last couple of engagements have gone so poorly that you cannot win as Terran right now if things keep going this way. I mean, the 4th base is going to be taken. It seems to me that there is actually enough for Dark to come in here and slam this base and make it lift back up and go back home.
I think if Dark, oh, careful there. I think if Dark were to do that, that would be like one of the only ways that could go wrong as well. It might work, it might not. I feel like if Dark just goes up into Lurkers from here and keeps expanding, that's pretty strong. Let's see though, maybe he does just go for it. Okay, he's gonna try to open up the rocks. Bunny walking over so he can't use the links for that. Nidus on the way.
Well, Terran's going to move out again. And, I mean, with Zerg being very, very passive, and it's not bad. Here comes that Nidus. But it's given Terran some time to come down here and hit the bottom right. Now, he sees this. Can he actually shut this down before it finishes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it is going to come down to this push here at the bottom.
Okay, with the Vipers, with the Fungals, I'm a little bit nervous here for Bunny. Okay, a Fungal goes down, that's not really impactful.
Yeah.
More tanks. Good, yeah, I like that he unsieges. He needs to actually spread them better so Blinding Clouds don't destroy him.
Scan comes down. Again, this is, see that's the problem. You get those harpooned. And there's just, if Lurkers are out and they take all your tanks away and have a good position on you, you're just not going to get in there. Well, especially in this kind of valley-like area that we saw that fight happen in.
Bunny taking a lot of damage there, but I mean, he's trading like okay. He's still in it. He's still in it. He's got good income right now. Definitely want to see him take another base. He's trying to keep that pressure up. Oh, this is quite the move.
He's going to unload, and this is pretty far away from any kind of lurker position. There's also an engage up here at the top right. There was. Zerg won that clearly. Meanwhile, back in the main, the lurkers are beginning to push in. Oh, a late scan.
Oh, yeah, definitely a late scan there. And loses most of his units. Going to unload here on top of those spores. So taking a ton of damage on Medivacs, losing multiple of them. Most of his army going away as well.
Yeah, it almost seems like Bunny's trying to just throw something to the wall and see what sticks. And nothing is sticking.
these lurkers in that top right. Gets rid of another Nidus as
You
well.
know, you are right, Artosis. Bunny's still in this, but Dark is just winning fight after fight after fight.
Yeah, well, it's just a bit tough. Bunny's been on his back foot since losing those 4 siege tanks, I think. And you can see he's kind of hemorrhaging units everywhere. The thing is, he's had enough economy during this time. Oh wow, that's the combo right there. Like he's had a big enough economy that he could like continue and you know, try to get damage done, but you're right, he's throwing things at the wall, nothing's sticking.
Yeah, and nothing he's trying is working.
He's not getting the damage. You're playing against lurkers. You gotta, it's either you way out multitask and you're everywhere, or you have to grind them down with things like mass siege tanks.
Yeah, and both are failing here. Here comes another attack up here. I don't know how well Terran can hold this position. The tanks are in a pretty atrocious spot. He's going to lose those tanks up in the front. 2 more up at the top by the planetary.
I think he'll hold the base, but not that making command center. That has to get canceled.
Yeah, the
losing a
command
lot of his
center
units too.
at 9 o'clock is exposed. A lurker comes over here to burrow. And I think we're really beginning to see Bunny tear at the seams.
Looks like he's going to clear these lurkers, so that's nice.
But Zerg was sitting on so many minerals and gas, he's going to be remaxing momentarily here.
Yeah, more Nidus is coming up. Lurkers just absolutely everywhere during this.
Yeah, this lurker almost wins that fight. More lurkers to boot as Niduses are coming in here, shaving off the few workers over at this third base.
Uh-oh. Yeah, good lift off there.
Yeah, good thing you're not a planetary in a moment like that.
Still see Shanks and Planetary over at the other base, so gonna hold on for now. He's bleeding everywhere, and look at the hatcheries going down on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I don't think we're that far away from Dark even expanding to the bottom left as well.
Yeah.
He's just got so much. And again, this is Dark really using that experience. You know, he had a very rough tournament today, but he has basically kept his cool and has made the proper tiny adjustments in his very complicated late game decision-making tree, and he's kind of come out in good shape.
Yeah, it's too bad because I think Bunny, maybe the pressure got to him this game. Because clearly that moment where he was like losing all the drops in the main and trying to push the 4th was like a little bit premature. He was trying to do a little bit too much. He left it there too long. His reinforcements weren't quick. And from there, he's had a very, very tough time. Now, he's got a decent siege tank count. He's got a good amount of army overall. Like his army supply is very, very high. Can he take a really high quality trade somewhere? Can he kill a base or two and take another base himself? Like those, he needs to do all those things and then he's back in it.
Okay, huge engagement here, and I gotta say the angling is pretty good right now for Bunny. There are so many lurkers here. A chunk of the army survives. Again, a very bad angle for Dark. The problem is those deep pockets Dark has. He goes back, he remakes.
Yeah, he's maxed again. Ooh! All right, just let them
Oh God,
run.
there's just so many lurkers. They're leapfrogging forward.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating when you're against that many lurkers. And now the lings are going to come out. My God, Bane's coming in here.
100 lings
Right now,
running.
Dark is looking for the killing blow.
Yeah, that base has to insta-lift. I mean, 100 Zerglings can kill a lot.
Oh, man.
Oh, I think he's run out of scans as well.
Yeah. Well, apparently not, but he's not scanning enough spots at once to be safe. Lurkers like that one got a lot of extra damage, a lot of value from that. And Terran tries to come in closer, but again, Zerg is remaxed, this time with so many lings that they are spilling on top of the Terran army. And there's just nothing left. GG. Dark goes on. The GSL Season 2 champion survives to the round of 8.
Just barely so. Overall, Bunny tonight against Dark, 3-2. But he is the one going home.
Crazy.
Once again, we see extended series truly was the way.
Yeah, that was That was such an insane back and forth with these two guys. Really, the takeaway for me today, Dark Bunny, amazing games. Dark does come out on top through patience, through taking it one game at a time. He is going on to the round of 8, leaving only 2 spots left because we're doing the Group C on Thursday.
That's right.
We're going to go to an interview now and see how Dark is feeling. He may go on to win GSL Season 3. This may have been the hardest part of his entire tournament.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he'll be playing the winner, of course, of Group C. So, possible rematch against Rogue coming up.
Dark of Dragon Phoenix Gaming defeats Bunny in the last series, and he moves on to the round of 8. Congratulations, Dark. Thank you. Last season, you were the champion, Dark. Today, there were some moments of danger, but you managed to move on to the round of 8 in the end. How do you feel? In the first match against Bunny, you know, I realized things were going wrong for me. And Bunny played phenomenally in the first match. So even in the final match, I had no confidence against him. I mean, the group was very unfavorable for you, Dark. You were very ahead in the head-to-head record against Bunny. I mean, although I'm ahead in the head-to-head record, I can tell that Bunny has practiced a lot. He is like, he was playing better than the top-tier Terran players today. I mean, the top-tier Terran players, they struggle against me, but Bunny showed no signs of that today. From the second game of the last match, it felt like you had everything going well for you. In the last game, as soon as the opponent destroyed the Nidus, he came down with the tanks. So what was that about? You know, today in the games, Bunny didn't only come from one direction. He came from like 2 or 3 directions. So I was kind of startled with that. But in the end, I was really lucky to win. And as the games went on, it felt like you were getting better and better, Dark. So once again, you move on to round of 8. After your GSL Season 2 championship, this is my first time seeing you, Dark. So how did you spend your holiday? I mean, like I moved into a new apartment, and the nation's calling for me, Call of Duty. But in the end, I'm really lucky to have won against Bunny today. So what went through your mind when you received the Call of Duty? I wasn't too happy, obviously. It wasn't the right timing. You know, the past months, I had a lot of thoughts, had a lot of worries. So a memorable interview is with Maru before. Maru actually said that disruptors are not the OP ones, the lurkers are the OP ones, he said in the past interview. So what do you think about that? I mean, like, Maru, do you have any conscience? How can you say lurkers are OP? But you know, Maru's maybe saying the facts. Maybe he's wrong. I'm not sure. But I feel like TVT is probably going to be harder for Maru. So you know, he's always picked Zerg as his opponent. So I think I'm the easier opponent for him. Right, from the round of 8, it's going to be really tough, Dark. You'll be playing against the first place of Group C. And in the past, you said that beating Rogue is actually feels better than lifting the GSL trophy. So, how do you feel this time? I mean, last time it was really an arduous battle against him. But you know, this time Rogue is in Group C. So as long as he doesn't move out as the first place of Group C, he's not going to meet me. So hopefully he moves on to second place of Group C. Will your wish be granted, Dark? Who knows? And everybody is paying attention to whether you can lift the trophy again, Dark. So anything you want to say? In 2019, I was bogged down by Rogue in the round of 4. this season, I'm gonna try to achieve my second consecutive GSL championship. Once again, congratulations, Dark. Thank you.
All right. What a night. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us. I am glad to be back with you after missing Code A and getting stuck in quarantine. This has been a great round of 16 so far. Although Group D is normally the last round, we did this for day 3 of the round of 16. Group C is going to be on Thursday, and then I think we should be back onto a normal schedule.
Yes, I believe so. The round of 8 already shaping up, looking amazing. Can't wait to see who else actually advances on Thursday, because you know we have some heavy hitters over there. Of course, Rogue, kind of the big name that we're looking at coming up to make a second Zerg in that round of 8.
Yeah.
DRG has potential there as well.
Too bad Bunny
Zhao.
didn't advance, you know? It's
He's the best player that didn't advance, and like Dark actually agreed with exactly what we were saying there, that
Yeah, I
Bunny
heard that.
looks as good or better than everyone else.
Yeah, so I hope Bunny can come back in the next GSL and, you know, really bring it.
I think he will.
I mean, I think he could have won this season, but, you know, tough group.
Tough group.
Tough opponent, man. He went against the best opponent from Season 2.
Yeah.
2 more spots remain. We're going to discover the opponents of Dark and Party after we're done with Thursday night.
Dude, that is looking like an insane set of round of 8 so far. Who do you think comes out of this group?
It's a good question. I think Rogue for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe Zhao.
I agree. I think it's going to be a Rogue Sound group. I mean, I would actually love to see DRG make it out, but I think that's a tall order. Like,
well, yeah, I don't think Kier gets out. Zhao is just kind of modern enough that I think he's always got a shot. Yeah. DRG has actually, he has some modern play too, but he has also stuck to his roots a little bit.
Yeah.
Very good player. He might surprise us. Sometimes DRG just looks phenomenal.
Yeah, sometimes.
And then Rogue, I mean, it's always easy to bet on Rogue.
Yeah, you make money if you just always bet on Rogue to win everything.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, thank you for joining us. This was a great night, and we have the ASL VODs up.
Yes.
Just remembered about that.
Yes, ASL round or ASL season 12 has started. The round of 24 is underway. Groups A and B are both on the Africa TV YouTube channel, so definitely check those out.
Yeah, we're wrapping the show up over here, but those VODs are there and available for you guys to check out, and they're going to be up as soon as we can get them up.
Yep. Well, the first 2 groups are up, so we're just waiting for the next ones to be played. So definitely do take a look. I think you'll enjoy that. If you enjoy GSL, you'll enjoy ASL and vice versa. These are the greatest tournaments on earth.
Hell yeah, man. There's so much history with them, too. And I'm glad we can keep doing ASL as well. And, yeah, I think we have to talk a little bit longer because the Koreans can't close a shot yet.
No, but Tasteless, I got to say, this
it's been 11 years of GSL, as a reminder, guys.
11 years.
A couple days from now, but happy birthday, GSL. How if GSL is a child, what grade would it be in? You have kids, you know this stuff.
11 years, so that's like 5th grade.
5th grade.
Damn.
Hell yeah. You learned long-term division in 5th grade. Maybe that's 4th grade.
Long-term division.
No, long division, not long-term division. For me, it was long-term. It was punishment.
Yeah. No,
long-term division.
No, you start division in 3rd grade, but
you do long division in 4th and 5th grade, right?
I don't know. I'm not a teacher.
I'm not sure what happened in school, to be totally honest.
Yeah. Not much for me.
Playing a lot of video games. A lot of like, what am I doing here? I got to get home.
Yeah.
There are no computer games
there
here
are
in this
ladders
classroom.
calling my name.
That's right. The ladder beckons.
Yes. But yeah, that's a long time to be doing GSL. Hopefully many more years to come, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
11 more to come, guys. We love you. That's all the time we have. We'll see you on Thursday. Take care. Go check out those ASL VODs. Bye-bye.